All right, what's up? I'm out here at Lake Mead. I'm actually at Echo Bay. It's crazy windy today. It's actually not even as bad as it's gonna get, I don't think. Luckily, I kind of found a spot on the bank where I could get off of the big gusts and have some shelter. But fished around a little bit, threw a drop shot with a finesse worm, didn't get any bites, threw a jerk bait, and the lure I ended up getting bit on was this little ball shad, and unfortunately I wasn't really fishing per se. I just kind of sitting down for a minute and put that on real quick and just threw it out a few times. And right next to the bank I'm on a kind of a steep bank. There's a submerged rock, and I kind of yo-yoed it up and let it fall, and it flashed, and sure enough, man, a fish come up and just swiped at it. And been fishing with that ever since. I hadn't gotten any more bites, but if anything, I know the fish have definitely moved up, and they're feeding, so it should only get better from here on out until they spawn. It might slow down a little bit unless you fish on beds. But anyways, while I was out here, I figured this is probably the best place to do a review video, and I'm going to tell you about my Bass Pro Shops. I don't know if you can see that Graphite Series 7.6 medium heavy action bait casting rod. I originally got it because I wanted something to throw swim baits with, and I probably should have gone with the heavy, the full-on heavy. This is a medium heavy. It's 7.6, and it will throw. I have an S-Waver here. This is the smaller S-Waver, 180, I believe. And it's like, I want to say it's 1 3/4 ounces, 2 ounces. It will throw this very nicely. It does a great job with this bait. I wouldn't go a whole lot bigger than this, or at least heavier, because it is fairly fast as far as action goes on the end of it. I'll show you. It's pretty fast on the end. So you really want something a little stiffer, maybe even longer. I mean, I think 7.6 would do you just fine with a heavier bait if you went with the heavy action. But for this medium heavy 7.6, I definitely would go with a heavy action if you want it for swim baits. Like I said, though, it throws that S-Waver really well, no problems. I currently have it spooled up with the reel that's on it is my Shimano Corrado. It's got 17-pound fluorocarbon on it, and it throws this. It'll throw this little ball shad a country mile, being 7.6, and it's got a fairly stiff backbone here. But like I said, it's fairly fast on the end. So, but it zings this little boss shad really nicely. And even without the wind at my back, I can just almost spool myself just casting it, and that may be an indicator that I don't have enough line on. Whoa, now. See, that shows you right there how windy it is right now. I'm actually behind a rock, a huge rock, almost a cliff here, and this phone is propped up on a rock, yet it was somehow blown over. But just a little bit more about the rod. I actually got it for 40 bucks, so great deal. Some of you are probably saying that's a cheap rod. It's probably not going to last you very long. I hope you're wrong on that if that's what you're saying. I hope this rod lasts me a long time, as long as I don't abuse it and throw it around and bang on it and stuff. Otherwise, I think for 40 bucks, 7.6 medium heavy, you've got a pretty good all-around rod. I will say that sensitivity is probably not that great. I mean, partially because of the handle. It's corked pretty much all the way through, and I think the rod actually stops here. So if you want something sensitive, this is probably not the way to go. But if you're going to throw a swim bait with it, smaller swim baits, up to the S-Waver that I have, a 180, I believe, I think you're going to be pretty good. Top water, obviously, it's going to work real nice for you, given the tip is fairly fast. You don't want it super stiff if you're throwing top water with trebles. You want a little bit of give. But the other thing I like about it being 7.6 is it's collapsible. So see if I can back up without falling in. It collapses down to, I'm 5'7", in case you're wondering, so it goes down to about 6 foot. So it makes storing it and carrying it inside your truck if you need to, if you're like me. I fish out of a kayak, so being that it collapses, that makes it nice for storage. And you know, overall, I gotta say I'm pretty happy so far with this rod. So for 40 bucks, I think you're getting a pretty good deal. But like I said, if you're gonna throw a bigger swim bait, like if you're gonna go out on Willow, you know, the Colorado, and you know, throw a 10-inch, maybe bigger swim bait, you're gonna want a heavy action rod. And they have these in heavy. Never used the heavy, but I gotta say it's gotta be stiffer than this, and it would be better for those bigger swim baits. But overall, I'm pretty happy. So hopefully next time we get out, we can actually catch some fish. I think I might actually stop at the wash on my way home and see if I can't catch a couple dinks to get the skunk off my back. So I'm pretty upset at myself for missing that fish there, but it is what it is. That's why I call it fishing. So thanks, guys.